move on now to our next story, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called for the elimination of Hamas in his first public remarks since Donald Trump announced what he called a final proposal for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. Speaking at a meeting hosted by the Trans-Israel Pipeline, Netanyahu said, quote, "There will be no Hamas. There will be not a Hamastan. We're not going back to that. It's over," end quote. We're once again joined by Martin Sa-Arreyes, who's an international affairs expert located in Quito, Ecuador. Martin, thank you for joining us. What is the probability of any optimism when it comes to a ceasefire deal here? We know that Hamas wants an end to this war, a permanent end to this war. Israel has once again reiterated that it wants to see an end to Hamas. The US and Israel are not to say that they will not put forward this in the peace deal, the ceasefire deal forward. Do you think this is a sign of optimism that the region could get some stability, or do you think this is more false hope for the people of Gaza and also the people of Israel as well?
I think the probability is very low because a ceasefire right now wouldn't help anyone here. The problem in the Middle East and the source of the devastation in the Middle East is terror, Islamic groups such as Hamas. As long as they are still alive, there will be no peace in Israel. So Israel will never accept a ceasefire with Hamas, and they are not going to allow it because logistically 60 days are enough to empower Hamas to keep operating, to keep being a threat for Israel and for the region. So I don't think there will be peace or even a ceasefire until Hamas is absolutely destroyed. Also, we need to see the history in the background of Netanyahu through all of this war. Netanyahu has never accepted any ceasefire according to the conditions of Hamas, because Hamas, they are not willing to have peace with Israel. They're still in their fight for killing Israel and the Jewish people all around the world. So you can never negotiate with such a terrorist organization. So I don't think there will be a ceasefire. I think this war will be ending when Hamas ends and when Gaza is absolutely free of Hamas or this terror ideology, and there will be controlling power in the Gaza Strip, whether from Israel or the international community.
Martin, you said that a ceasefire won't help anyone in the region. What about the nearly now 56,000 people which have died in Gaza, the hundreds of thousands which have been displaced, according to reports from the region? Also the hostages that, of course, still held in the Gaza Strip, the families of which have been pleading for a ceasefire for months and months. What do you say to them?
I think it's devastating. I think it's a tragedy for both Palestinians and Israelis who are waiting for their loved ones being held hostage in Gaza. It's a tragedy. But we need to see reality. What is the best option for a future, a sustainable future in time? People in Gaza are being killed not only because of Israeli strikes, but also because of Hamas. Their Hamas agenda is to kill their own people. They think it's great to be killed in the name of radical Islam. They want as much as people being killed in Gaza because that's their agenda. So if Palestinians want peace, the only
Martin, the vast amount of people are being killed by Israeli airstrikes and Israeli ground offensives, though. Do you is this not something that you deny?
Of course not. It's a tragedy. Of course, this should be taken in consideration. And right now, Israel has been trying to evacuate these people. Of course, this is a tragedy. But if Hamas is not eradicated, there will be a lot of wars with more people being killed throughout the years. I mean, if Hamas remains and there's not a destruction of their infrastructure and Hamas is not absolutely destroyed, the future between Palestinians and Israel is very it's going to be a tragedy. We'll be having thousands of innocent people being killed every year. So in order to avoid that, Hamas needs to be destroyed right now. And of course, people need to be evacuated. Israel needs to do everything that they can in order to evacuate people living in Gaza before striking the terror infrastructure. But this is a very complicated situation, and we need to see the reality of a future, not only right now, what's best for now, but for a sustainable future between these two people.
Okay, Martin, we have some more information coming